What's good, y'all? So we have got a video here that everybody in this genre has been talking about. And it is the interview done by Lockdown 23 and 1, aka Death, of Wade Wilson's father, Steve. And it is seeming that over the months and years that this has been going on, Steve started as somebody that pretty much everyone supported. And it seems like that support is starting to turn against him, and a lot of people are starting to call out Steve. Now, to be fair, I watched a couple of minutes of this interview in the middle somewhere without context the other day, but I've been hearing everyone talking about it, and I've heard some crazy things about this interview. So I was going to watch it to judge for myself, but then I figured, why not make it a video, react to it, and do that with y'all? So, shout out to everyone who's in here. We are going to be reacting to this. I'm going to give y'all all of my opinions. First off, if you haven't seen this yet, I want to say go watch it on Death's channel. I don't want to take much of his viewers. I mean, I don't have a very big channel compared to his, so I'm not too worried about that. But shout out to him. He's like the GOAT of the prison scene. So a lot of respect for him. And even me, like, I was brought into the scene by him. It was from finding his videos in like 2018, 2019, and slowly just watching his interviews and following some of the creators I like. So y'all can thank him for me and Pino even knowing each other, because I wouldn't know who Pino was if it wasn't for him. So shout out to him. But we've got his interview with Wade Wilson's dad, Steve. Now, right off the bat, I want to give you my opinions on Wade Wilson's dad. Now, I kind of liked him at the beginning. I never really paid too much attention to him because I find he repeated a lot of the same things. And after you had heard it once, he wasn't that important to the story. So maybe there was things I missed. But I also want to say there's a lot of people now saying, "Oh, I hated Steve the whole time," but 6 months ago, a year ago, I know y'all was say a lot of people was saying something different, and so was I. So that's okay. But let's all just be honest with ourselves. But um, my opinion with Steve was it was always weird. I always found like he was a little bit clout hungry. Because for me, if I was in his position, I would still have to support my kid. I believe you support your kid for life regardless. But for me, it would be tough love. If my son was Wade and he's not doing the things he needs to do, he's not apologizing, he's not owning it. I'm always your father. I always have to do that duty. But in that case, being your father is pushing you to do the right thing and holding anything I have to help you back until you do the right thing. That's what I find good parenting is in this. I don't think abandoning your kid is ever okay. It's your responsibility for life, regardless of what they do, and anything they do reflects badly on you. But in this situation, I may have given one interview at the beginning, but this is not the type of situation I would want to be building any clout off of. And I wouldn't be going on any interviews just to chat or give my opinion, other than maybe one time. I wouldn't be trying to build clout of it. You wouldn't see from me or hear from me unless it was something really important. So I always had a bit of a red flag with Steve where I was like, you weren't in Wade Wilson's life, but he does this. All of a sudden, you're in his life and going on all these shows. And it just seemed a bit weird and threw up some red flags for me. But let's watch this interview and we can judge from this. I like to hear things out of his mouth, and maybe I'm completely wrong about this. So let's go.
Another exhilarating episode of Lockdown 2301 with Steve in person today, ladies and gentlemen. Wade Wilson's father. Man, it's a pleasure. It's a pleasure to see you.
One thing I want to say, just right off the bat, I don't really think you can call him Wade Wilson's father. You could say biological father, but to me, being biologically related to somebody is a given, but being a father is something that's earned. And he was never in Wade's life. Now, he gave up Wade. Maybe it was the right choice. Maybe it wasn't. But at the end of the day, you had a kid and you didn't take responsibility for that kid. I don't think calling him a father, to me, has always sounded a bit weird. I know other people look at that differently. But for me personally, you don't get to get called father or dad or any of that unless you do the things to fill that role. And Steve didn't. That's just the reality. Whether what he did was the right thing or the wrong thing to do in that situation, sure. but I don't think he gets to call himself father.
I don't meet too many people in person, man. Yeah.
And I'm gonna let it play, but here's what I'll say for Death. If this interview just goes and it's a regular talking, glazing interview, then I have a problem with it. If he presses them in a few points and asks them about this stuff, then I don't really have a problem with it. I just find with the Wade Wilson situation, part of why I left it was my own mental health, but part of it was it's like, how long do I really want to be making content clout off of such a horrible person in a situation? And I think there just has to be limits, and I don't think a lot of creators showed limits. I think a lot of creators showed that they're willing to inflame a situation to get clout. A lot of people did that. And I may even be guilty of that in some ways. But taking him in person, it just seems like a bit of a glaze fest already. I hope it's not.
I got so many questions to ask you. But I guess let's start off with, how's everything been, man? How's everything been going since, the last time that I've talked to you?
It's been all right. You know, just normal shit.
Yeah.
Just trying to get back to normal life, I guess.
Is it getting any more normal?
Yeah, it is. There's still some stupidity sometimes, but for the most part, it's gotten better. It's calmed down, I think, a little.
I mean, now, before when we did our interview, he was not sentenced to death yet.
Yeah.
I mean, how surreal is that for you to see something like that play out? Is it kind of like cinematic, man, that it's happening to you, or what?
Oh yeah, it's crazy. It's I guess I never thought of that. When all this was happening, I never really thought that would be an option. I don't know why. I just, I figured, well, that's his life,
Yeah.
It's over. But I never really thought that deep into it. Oh, maybe they would seek the death penalty.
I'm just trying to comprehend how it could feel, because you don't know Wade as a person for real. It's been so long. He's a grown man by the time you see him again.
Mm-hmm.
He's your son and all, but for me, I know I wouldn't be able to really. It'd be hard for me to get emotional about anything pertaining to him. Is it like that for you?
No, just because I had glimpses of, getting to know him as a person, sober.
I just want to say it says a lot about how little he was in Wade's life. I got to see glimpses of him as a brother. You're not supposed to have glimpses of your kid.
Thinking clear. And I think it's a biological
connection.
Just a thing, man. You just feel it, It's like, I don't know, you kind of hurt when your kids are hurting. You kind of feel that same pain. But I don't know, man. It's fucked up.
Yeah.
It's
not his kid, it's his child.
It's the worst shit I've ever been through.
Sounds like a bad dream, man. I can't even fathom something like this taking place, but
yeah, it's fucked up.
What do you think about everyone? Because recently, a lot of people been saying all this stuff about Wade. I mean, I'm sure you probably know a lot more details on everything. You probably don't, can't talk about everything. But I mean, do you feel like just sometimes getting on social media and opening up and telling everybody what's going on, what you think is, the truth to everything?
Yeah, sometimes I hear shit or see shit, and it pisses me off.
Yep.
Just because it's not true, and I get it. People only can. I did. I used to watch these damn stupid videos, and they get me all in my feelings, and I showed my wife one day, and she's like, that's not real, or that's like staged and shit.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, I didn't realize people did that.
Yeah.
I didn't know much about it.
So we can establish he's gullible and an idiot. You didn't realize that people made fake videos on social, bruh. Oh, fuck. I can already tell how this interview's going.
the internet. So people do that for a reaction, I think, and people believe what they see.
Yeah.
And it's not their fault. The only reason I'm any different is just because, you know, I know how the system works. I know how all that plays out.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm talking about, man. I hear a lot of stuff about certain situations in the system. Do you know anything about what they would expect on death row?
Okay, so he just went from saying he doesn't know that videos are faked on social media to saying he knows how stuff works. Okay.
Like,
as far as what?
Like the amenities. Is it
oh, I mean, it's all posted online and shit, you know, just, you know, the TV, and, you know, they have privileges that other inmates in Florida don't have.
Yeah.
They're the only inmates that can order tobacco.
Yeah. Oh, they sell tobacco in Florida?
Chewing tobacco for death row.
Oh, I'm sure.
That's it.
Oh,
no cigarettes or none of that, but nobody can do that but death row. So,
yeah.
You know, and I call, man. I'll call up there and talk to the people.
Oh, yeah?
You know?
Prison opens up a little bit?
Sometimes. Not, you know, they're cautious in what they say, but I think, you know, as his dad, I think they show me a little grace maybe, and they'll tell me kind of what's going on, but nothing, you know.
Yeah.
I just know the basics.
Yeah.
So
you haven't talked to him since everything's went down? Kind of went radio silent for you with him?
Just the last time I tried, you know, the day before his sentencing.
Where were you at when you were watching him do the final sentence?
So he hasn't spoken, like let's just realize how little contact he's had with Wade in his life. So he didn't know Wade until Wade was basically an adult, slightly before Wade did this stuff. And then the majority of the time since Wade's been locked up, on and off, hasn't been talking to Steve. So he's got maybe 100 hours to maybe between 50 and 200 hours of time spent with Wade in his life. I feel like someone like Jumpsuit Pablo might know Wade more than his dad or his sperm donor does, or whatever the fuck you want to call it.
Listen, were you at home just watching or what?
Yeah, I don't think I watched it.
You didn't watch it at all?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, live?
Yeah.
Did you choose not to?
Yeah.
You couldn't watch it?
I mean, I think everybody knew what was going to happen, so it didn't.
Well, honestly, I didn't know. I didn't think. I didn't know if he was going to get life or death.
He just before said he didn't know that the death penalty was really an option or could happen. Now he's saying everyone knew what was going to happen.
Or what, you know?
The judge usually goes with what the jury.
Yeah, they do. Yeah,
but you know, you never know.
Yeah, you never know.
But I figured. I was trying. You know, I didn't really think about that part of it until, you know, the state seeked the death penalty. And then I realized, damn, okay. I guess they would seek the death penalty for that.
Yeah.
You know, and it just the severity of the shit and all that, I never thought about it. It just was something that never came into my mind.
Well, let me ask you this, man. You've been in the system, all right? And maybe if you can't answer it or not, personal, you know, an authentic view. And you know, from what you know about what's going on with Wade, what little you might know, do you think he'll make it to see death row? Do you think he'll get that final sentence, or do you think someone or something might happen to him beforehand? What's your personal experience?
I don't know. I mean, if he continues the bullshit, you know, I told my wife when he first went there, you know, I said, they're going to try to break him.
Mm-hmm.
If he goes in with the bullshit, they're going to try to break him, you know. These officers, you know, they work death row.
Yeah, we've heard
in and out.
They work many crazy stories about Florida prison system.
They're going to teach you what the hell's going on.
Yeah.
So
Do you think that him being so popular is kind of keeping them hindered from doing stuff like that?
No, they're pretty regulated now, man. They got cameras everywhere.
Yeah.
You know.
Oh, yeah, but what prison is he in? Do you even know?
He's at Swanee,
Swanee?
Yeah.
And that holds death row inmates?
That's a CM camp.
A CM, closed management.
Closed management. Yeah, that's
okay. What's the difference between the two in Florida? Do you know?
Between
closed management and death row?
I mean, death row, you're sentenced to death. I'm not trying to be funny. I just mean,
hey, some death rows got cats and everything, man.
I just mean like Florida death row. They got it how they got it, and CM is different. You know, you got CM 1, 2,
it's
and
a whole
3.
prison closed management.
Yeah, I think I'm not. That's a newer prison since I.
Well, from what you remember,
out. Yeah. Obviously they have to have some kind of population to run the CM. The run rounds and all that, laundry, all that.
If I was on death row and my father went and did an interview in this type of mannerism and tone, I would be pissed. This is a really weird tone to be taking on an interview for something like this. Like, especially this far along with the stuff that's happened. It's like, I mean, everybody copes with being nervous and stuff like that differently, but it's kind of a weird tone. I don't hear this is a horrible situation, the sadness, the dread, and maybe it's there, but I don't hear it.
So, I think it's primarily a CM camp.
Yeah, that's a great point. A lot of people don't understand, even with these, super closed security prisons, inmates are still mostly, doing a lot of the leg work, cooking, transporting meals, maybe not so much in other places, but they're still doing something, and they have a population where they live, what they call them. I know in Virginia, they would call them, I can't remember.
They call them permanents down here.
Yeah, every state kind of has a different name. I can't remember exactly what it was in Virginia, man. It's been a while. But yeah, some of them inmates classification, they'll never leave, and they know everything in and out the whole place. But do you think, personally, like I said, do you think his risk of injury or harm in prison would be from the hands of someone else or himself?
I mean, I guess both is possible.
Yeah.
I personally think, he's a drug addict, man.
Yeah.
He's a drug addict. And, everybody wanted to pump all that money into his account. So,
how much money? He's got a lot of money.
Thousands, man.
Thousands.
And he's,
from who?
I don't know.
Random people?
Yeah, they just, they
stop playing, man.
It happens. It's a real thing. But they love
I know there's GoFundMe's going on and stuff. I've heard some rumors and stuff, but
a few things.
Like thousands of dollars.
Oh, yeah. They love him. And the problem with loving them right now is you're fueling this shit. And
I think that's kind of what they would like to do. Man.
Yeah. I mean, I think he's overdosed 4 times.
In prison?
In county and in prison. I mean, listen, I don't know.
Yeah, I'm with Steve on this one. If he keeps getting money like that with the habits he has, he's OD'd 4 times. Yeah, that there's a very good chance that's how he goes. I didn't realize it was 4 times, but now that I think of it, yeah, that does kind of make sense. This one I definitely agree with Steve on. If he keeps getting money like that and something doesn't change, eventually they're not going to get to him in time in a situation like that.
He's going to die. He's going to die from himself. Or
what did they sentence him to? Does Florida sentence him to was it lethal injection or?
Yeah, I think that's what they do in Florida.
Is that what they do?
Lethal injection. I don't know if they have gas or not. I don't know.
Yeah.
They don't do the electric chair anymore.
Yeah. I don't think I would ever want to go by the electric chair.
Yeah.
Yeah. Everyone always asks me that. And, I think the best way to go for me would be probably like firing squad, maybe. What do you think?
I'd probably try to take myself out too.
Oh, man. Don't do that. Don't do that.
I mean, mean, yeah, I don't know.
I remember I just read some Florida. Somebody just put someone away, and his last words were, "Thank you for not letting me live any longer in this prison."
Yeah,
You know, it's treacherous, and they're all with nothing but your thoughts all day, every day, and random voices and noises. That's all you got. Ever listen to because I've seen other channels, they show phone calls with Wade having phone calls.
Yeah.
How do you think about these phone calls, man? I mean, some of them are freaking wild. You know, some of the relationships or people he's trying to talk to. How do you feel about it? Is it wild to you, man?
Yeah, it's hard sometimes to listen to it, man, and you know, I don't know. I hear the bullshit in it. You know, I hear the game.
You know the reality.
And I just know.
Game,
he's just running game, and you know, some of it is. It's just crazy, but I take it for what it is. You know,
you ain't had no maniacs show up to your house or anything. No fans of Wade trying to get some smells in or some hair.
We've had some strange interactions, man.
Anyone ever notice you in public or anything?
Yeah. Sometimes, not thankfully.
Nothing negative yet.
No, but it's. I don't really go out that much.
So, well, I don't.
You know, it hadn't been a couple times, and that was enough. That it embarrassed me.
Well, let's jump back to more of a personal note, man. You know, Wade does have a son. You know, child. Are you in his life at all?
Yeah, we live hours away.
Oh, hours away.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's not far at all.
No, they're up in the Panhandle.
That was not the answer of somebody who's really in their grandkid's life. And I didn't even think of that, but that's a good judge of what kind of person he really is. Like, in this situation, you would think that this happened with Wade and he would go, okay, I'm embracing my grandkid. I'm going to move there. I'm going to do whatever. That was not the answer. Like, that's not the type of answer somebody who's involved in a kid's life really gives. So I don't think he's really much involved. Like, they're hours away. And then Death's like, it's close. I don't think he's much involved in that kid's life. Which is crazy. After all the stuff your person you call your son has done in this, like, I feel like you should probably be in that kid's life. Man, Steve don't seem like a good person at all, man. Oh. I always had red flags from him, but I always try and look for the best in people, and like, man. I had mostly good opinions of him up until the other day.
But yeah, I mean, we talk, and it's just been a lot, man. And they're doing a great job with their kids and keeping them as safe as possible. You know, but you know,
any stuff ever comes your children's way from this stories?
My young son, you know, he's in high school, man, and you know, kids watch all that shit. And,
God.
So it's been shitty. Last year more so, you know. This year, some of the teachers this past year.
Teachers and all of them know about everything.
Yeah.
Man, I know it gets wild in the school system.
You know, some of the teachers have been really cool, and you know, teachers kind of, you know, balance it out for him.
Yeah.
Like, you know, he knows what had to be done, and but some kids are just dead. Other kids are great.
Yeah.
You know, I think it just depends on how they're being raised, maybe.
Yeah.
I think a lot about how kids turn out is about how they're raised. I agree.
Yeah. High school can be tough, man. Especially when a situation like this comes about. I can only imagine, man. You know, because you're super popular, but it's in a horrible way.
Yeah.
You know, it's kind of like two
I
worlds.
wouldn't call it popularity. I would call it he's infamous.
It's combined into one. Yeah, it's a good world, but at the same time, bad world, man.
Yeah.
You know.
Listen, I'm a fucking human, man.
Yeah, we all are, man.
I don't always react perfectly to shit.
Yeah.
And
have you overreacted?
Oh yeah, 100%. I want to. You wouldn't even know some of the shit. Like I've had to really check myself, and I've had to really be put in check.
Yeah, because the next thing you know, they'll be like, "Oh, he's rageful," like, and that's where Wade gets rage.
Yeah,
you know, you gotta be.
Yeah, I hear that shit.
So, but really, I mean, everyone gets,
I can promise you this. I've had my mistakes, man. I'm human. I make plenty of mistakes.
Yeah.
But I have changed my life. You know, I'm not the same person that I was before all this shit happened.
Mm-hmm.
You know, this has changed me as a person. I just think it's a little bit of everything just piled into one, and it's time that I got to deal with it all inside. You know.
I hear a lot of crap, sometimes about your story, and that's why I like to have you on here, man, to show.
Yeah,
I can see people's character. I like to say I've seen a lot of individuals in prison.
I mean, listen, I'm not face to face with the guy. I haven't had personal conversations, and I don't think Wade's dad, Steve, is doing this to be a bad person. I don't think he's in his heart maliciously doing this, but he is not being a good person. He is not handling this situation how he should. Obviously he's not trained on social media or doesn't know all this stuff, but bro, he has contradicted himself multiple times, and we're not even halfway in. This is not a good look. Like, I understand exactly what Pino and other people were saying. Like, this is the style of interview you do when you've been to prison and you're talking about your time. Not when your son's on death row for ending the lives of two innocent people and possibly doing a bunch more.
And you seem like a good guy, man.
Yeah.
And you really do seem like you are on that path, man. And that's why I met you. You know what I mean? I got good vibes from you, and this is a horrible situation, but maybe some
Death, you've done a lot of good interviews. This is not the type of interview you do without pushing back. I really hope there's parts where you push back on this or question, even if it's not what you agree with. Come on, you got to push back on stuff like this. Is such a horrible situation, at least for the victims and stuff. Push a little more.
Ex-cons out there can learn from this. You could come home from prison and you're a child that you don't know nothing about. Can get in touch with you, and he might be going down a dark hill, dark road.
Yeah.
Do everything you can, like you did, and you won't have nothing, to say otherwise about the situation.
Yeah, I
think a lot of people are learning from this, believe it or not. Even though it's very crazy out there, but
yeah, it's just it's so in so many ways that I don't think people really sit back and think from a personal perspective. I get it because I used to watch the Dateline NBCs and the First 48s and shit, and you get it from that end of shit, and it's
entertainment.
Yeah, and it's not bad. Like watching it from that end, you're like, okay, cool, whatever. And this, but when it hits you personally, and you don't. I don't know, man. It's fucked up.
Yeah, everything's different when you're living through it, man. That's for sure. You got to put yourself in everybody's shoes.
Yeah.
But, there was something I was going to ask you, man, and maybe you can tap into it or not. I don't know. It's very sensitive. But I feel like a lot of times, and a lot of people's stories and coverage of everything, like the victims, man, they don't really. People talk about them, they say their condolences, but have you had any interactions at all with the family members and said,
I've messaged with somebody, and down at court, I spoke with a family member, and
I can only imagine how that was.
Yeah. It's it was good. You know?
They didn't seem angry at you.
Absolutely not.
That's good.
Thankful.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
They more forgiving than me. My daughter was, I don't have a daughter, but if I had one, I have a son, but my kid was gone and you didn't take care of your kid growing up and you didn't do the duties as a father, I would not have the same opinions. Because realistically, okay, as much as people don't like to hear this, Wade is crazy and has mental illness. And you don't usually get to the place you get with Wade like just by accident. It doesn't just happen. It usually has to do with a lifetime of neglect. And that's what it seems like to me from my experience in Wade's case. This could have all been, was Wade still responsible? Yes. But the reality is all of this could have been avoided if somebody fixed Wade's problems or taught him how to function differently or something like that. If he had had proper parent supervision and that stuff in his life, we would have been talking about a possibly very different story. From what I understand is Wade's adoptive parents that I still have my own problems with tried everything they could, or either way weren't able to get Wade the help he needed. But also, it's like you were his father. You gave him up. I understand. Maybe that was the easy choice. Maybe that was the better choice. I don't know. But you weren't in his life the entire time. Maybe if you had have been in his life and not been out committing crimes and doing the things you were, this might have all been avoided. So I can promise you, if I was one of those kids' parents, I'd be looking for you 100%. My kid's gone and you neglected your kid. Like, I'm one of those people, like to even say I had parents growing up is a stretch because there was no parenting that ever happened in my life. So it was abuse. That was it. There was no parenting ever. So I know pretty well the effects of like not having parents, and I was just left running the streets all the time. And I'm lucky that I have a good head on my shoulders and was born with sense that Wade wasn't, and was able to figure stuff out and stop doing the things I was doing. But most of the people who I know who are in the same situation as me end up a lot closer to the situation of Wade. Not like what Wade did, but don't have control, don't know how to not do those things. And 99% of them, if they just had a good father figure in their life, would have never even gone there. So it's like, if I was one of those parents, if I talked to him, it would be you're a piece of shit. You should have raised your son. Now, like, why do I have to suffer because you didn't want to take responsibility when you were younger? So what? You were young when you had a kid. That's not an excuse to not be in the kid's life. The giving him up thing, I don't really doubt you for that so much. I don't know your situation. That might have been the better thing. But Steve is still responsible for not being in Wade's life for 99.99999% of it. I don't know. It's like he wants clout but doesn't want clout. He wants like forgiveness and to not be held responsible, but he was never responsible for I don't really understand. He's not.
That was good.
I can go on for a while.
Yeah, people suck, man. People fucking suck, and they just want to talk shit. They want to drag you through shit. And if you say the wrong shit, wrong, and a piece of shit.
If
you weren't in Wade's life,
if he was never adopted and you did take care of him,
okay. Anybody who knows anything about criminals knows that most criminals and most people who end up in situations like this, what's the big thing that they're missing? Their biological father being a good father in their life. So to pretend like you don't have some accountability here is fucking insane.
Did do something like this? Oh man, people probably be looking at you totally differently. You know?
Yeah. I don't know.
So
I don't
actually the foster thing and adoption thing.
Yeah.
For this situation, if you're asking me, is kind of a positive because you ain't to blame.
Regardless if it was a positive. Death, I'm sorry, not a good interview. You're glazing too much. You should be digging into these answers instead of giving answers. This is a conversation and not really an interview. And it's like you gave him up for adoption, but then didn't take any part or any concern in his life and didn't talk to him for 18, 19 years. You have accountability there. I don't care. You weren't R-worded. You weren't forced to do things with a girl. You do something like that, you have a baby, be responsible.
For raising a man, you know what I mean?
I know,
This is what he did. I absolved myself of accountability. I'll give him credit. He didn't go and get an abortion. And this is one of the few cases where we'd be better off if he did. But it's like you absolve yourself of the responsibility of the kid and then don't take part in his life is just insane to me.
but even with
I
that,
hate to say it like that, but that's how it is.
And for anyone, any of y'all who think anything other, when I had my kid, granted I was not as young as him, but I guarantee you I was more of a degenerate. When I had my kid, I was trapping, stealing shit, like running the streets. So like, I don't really talk about the specifics of things I did, but I was doing a whole, like, I actually had to live the life a lot of these crime YouTubers and shit talk about. And like, when I had a kid, I was like, I can't do this shit anymore. I'm not like, it's not like I don't get to live just for me and being lazy and doing all that. So I guarantee you, in the situation I was in life, I was able to do that. He was able to do that.
and even with that said, though, like, even with that said, I would have caught some shit for sure.
Yeah. I mean, you see it in other stories everywhere.
Yeah.
You know, some kid did some crazy stuff. Their parents are paying for it.
Yeah, yeah.
You know?
But they, I'm telling you, they did everything they could do.
Yeah.
Everything in their power.
Yeah.
They did.
Yeah.
For him.
Yeah.
You know, and he
Yeah,
made those
their
choices
power, not
for
yours,
him.
though.
But, you know, it's life, man.
Yeah. And my condolences do go out to the victims' families, man.
Oh, yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Sorry, go ahead.
No,
that's the other thing. Everybody wants to post all this shit and all this and do all this. When's the last time that I haven't even heard their names? It hasn't even, it's turned into like the circus, man. It's not even about, you know.
I haven't heard their names from you.
Daughter, man.
Yeah. I know.
Like,
I got my daughters and I think about it all the time.
You know what I'm saying? Like, what? Come on, man. And you want to fucking bash me because I say bitch?
Yeah. And look, you know, my content.
Okay. So my opinion on the bitch thing was I swear a lot. And in a situation like that, I probably couldn't imagine myself saying something about the victims like that. But who knows? Stuff slips out. But to address it like that, instead of being like, you know, like I called them, like, I feel like, you know, maybe it's being over exaggerated a bit, but it slipped out. I don't mean that. But saying it like this, oh, I said bitch. People are mad because I called the victims of a gruesome homicide a bitch. Yeah. Like, this man truly takes no accountability.
Talk about very serious stuff. Mm-hmm. In certain cases, I won't do like kind of courtroom analysis where I break into a comedy skit, you know. So it just depends. But I try to deal with principle with every situation, put myself in the victim's family's shoes, you know. So, and I see a lot of people not doing that. They just don't care.
And I can assure you,
I see someone not
their families
right
are
now
on social media.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
All the stupid ass shit people say and all these accusations and shit they make.
Yeah.
These people listen to it, man.
Yeah.
And it's the, you know, that's what makes me mad the most, and I try to control, because it's fucked up. You know, you don't think about other people, and everybody should. If someone reacts a certain way to something, you know, you get judged immediately. You know, oh, look at that, he's, you know, wonder, you know, all this shit.
That's the internet,
and it's like, has nobody experienced life before?
Yeah.
Steve, like if you were saying these things without doing the interviews and stuff that you did, like I would agree with you. People overreact to things. That's the internet. But like if that's the issue, why are you coming and doing more content on the internet? Like if this wasn't on YouTube, I wouldn't even be reacting to it. And like, we're basically halfway into this interview. And other than Steve not having accountability, I haven't really gotten any relevant information, nothing important to the case, nothing that's for the victims, nothing that's for the youth, nothing that's for anything other than he needs to talk and giving death views. Like, I don't know.
Is this like the first time anybody's ever like gone through some trauma?
Yeah.
I don't know. People act like they've never, their life's been perfect.
Yeah.
You know, how the fuck am I supposed to react to this shit? I never fucking dealt with it before.
I know, man. And
you know what I'm saying?
But this is like a prime example. You're a prime example of people seeing someone that's done crazy murders or something, but they don't think about mother, father, family, all that stuff. You know, this is like the other side. People are seeing right here. You and the shoes that people don't put on. You know what I mean?
It's like this. I'm wrong for turning them in, or I'm wrong if I didn't turn them in.
Yeah.
I turn them in because in my heart it's the right thing to do. And
who said he was wrong for if he did? Like, who said he was wrong for turning him in? I haven't heard that. That has to be something the Wade wives were saying. But bro, you like I agree with what Pino said. Your ass turned him in because you didn't want to be up there. You didn't want to be in jail right now, too.
You know, what he did was outrageous.
Yeah.
But now, on top of that emotion in my life and all that up shit, I'm supposed to now know how to process it all and deal with it all and still be a dad to my kids, a husband, still be still fucking an income, still busting my ass, still trying to fix my shit. You know, I'm still trying to maintain all that.
One day at a time, man.
And then I see some stupid mother
yeah.
that wouldn't last a minute
yeah.
in the real world.
Yeah.
With something to say.
Yeah.
Or some judgment, you know.
Yeah.
Because I react in a certain kind of way to something.
Yeah.
So that's hard to deal with.
Yeah.
I'm not used to that. I'm used to, if I have a problem with you, we'll figure it out. You know,
yeah.
all this shit.
Before
where like you say this and speculate this and expect somebody to just not want to put their hands on.
That's the best word for it.
I mean, really, like
runarounds and speculations.
It's the crazy shit. It's so backwards, man.
Yeah.
You know, this is not real life. Yeah. I don't know where these people live.
Yeah. Let me ask you a question, man. Someone asked me this, but I'd like to hear your input on it. What do you think? Because, you know, people get killed in gruesome
I'm hearing a lot of the
way,
pot calling the kettle black with Steve.
Way more worse than what Wade has done, you know. What do you think made this one so popular, man?
The phone call. Okay.
Do you think it's just
easy
his
answer.
look?
The shit he put on his face and the crazy phone calls that everyone's getting to hear. That's what did it. That's what did. Well, and his crime.
His vibe. Yeah. His name.
And the Wade wives.
Yeah. I don't care about that as much as the look.
Yeah.
That's all it is, dude. I said it, man. The same thing all these people say. No. It's nothing to do with his look. It's we're anti-death penalty.
Yeah.
And I said to somebody one time, I said, okay, 50 miles west of his trial, there's another motherfucker facing the death penalty. He killed 5 women. He walked into a bank and shot 5 women in Sebring.
Rob him?
I don't even think that was the intention.
Which is just killing?
I think his ex-girlfriend worked there. He killed all of them. Something like that. Some stupid shit.
Yeah.
But, you know, he was a little 5'2", 300-pounder.
Yeah.
You know, they didn't support that.
Yeah.
So they didn't care about the death penalty
over
there.
That look, huh?
But Wade's a handsome fella.
Yeah.
So, you know, they that was their justification.
Some of his recent shots I've seen on some people's thumbnails, he's not looking too handsome.
But those are old pictures.
They're all
the county jail.
Oh man, they're posting old counties, man. That's horrible, man.
Those are tablet photos, man.
Oh my god.
Maybe they got some new ones out. I haven't seen them.
Damn, I thought they were all like fresh.
The ones I've seen are old.
Oh, that's sad, man.
But I know where he's at now. Under CM review, I think he has nothing.
Yeah.
So I think it's still disciplinary. You know, a lot of people think you overdose. People overdose in prison all the time.
Uh-huh.
They'll take care of you, but
that's what
they're gonna lock your ass up.
That's what the word's been around town. He went through something like that recently. Yeah.
They're gonna save you, but they're gonna write you up.
Yeah.
It's not allowed to do that, to consume the shit that you OD'd on.
Yeah.
So they still disciplinary.
Yeah.
I mean, he's not like walking a yard right now.
Yeah. I think I heard somewhere down the pipeline he was on the weight pile, playing handball or something.
Absolutely. But that's common sense thinking.
Yeah, man. Look, let's say
he's on death row. Oopsie, he overdoses.
Yeah.
You know what? We're going to transfer you to a prison and put you on the yard, and you can just hang out. You deserve that.
Yeah.
It's not reality.
That ain't reality. Look, what's going to happen is what amenities he had, they're gone. They're going to be gone for a little bit, at least, if I were to guess, right? You know,
it depends on what level
disciplinary action goes on or whatever. You know, they'll take his TV if he has one. You know, if anything for.
I feel like right now they're gonna go super hard to make sure Wade doesn't OD. Like they're probably checking his cell every like 30 minutes or whatever in case he is. But there's going to come a time when all this media stuff goes away, when the jails and prisons are going to care a lot less if that happens to them. Right now, they don't want the media storm, and there always will be. But 5, 10 years from now, let's say 5 years from now, people ain't going to care as much. People are going to be on to the next one. The Wade wife's going to be gone. And you can bet your bottom dollar they're not going to care as much if something happens to them.
Disciplinary, and they can take his commissary. And back there with none of that is hell. Hey, you'll lose your mind in there with none of that.
Damn, you're making your time so much harder.
Yeah.
Just
your last little bit of time,
man.
And
just do your time.
Has anyone spoken to you about how like anyone from like the staff or prison or warden, whatever, about how long it would be for him to fulfill the sentence, be put to death?
Oh no, I guess that just depends
They
on.
give you a range like 10 years sometimes it takes, you know.
I don't think Florida. I think they take forever in Florida.
Oh, they do? I thought they kind of like
this year. I think they've done.
Texas. I think it's Texas that really steamrolls them, man.
Yeah,
I think it was like 6 of them.
A week probably. Yeah, I don't know. Florida, man, there's hundreds on there, dude. They sit on there for 30 years.
That's
man.
crazy, man.
You know?
Yeah, I think people sit on death row way too long. I think any death row case where there's no, like, is he innocent, is he not, where there's just pretty much, like, caught red-handed, pretty obvious, make it happen in 5. Like, I get it, you got to give some time for appeal, but 5, max 10 years, we don't need to be going to 20, 30 years for people. Like it's crazy the amount of resources they're wasting there.
I'm guessing they must have death row blocks all over the state, multiple prisons. No, it's all in one prison. Yeah, that's crazy.
UCI houses that men death row.
Oh, okay. How many people housing there? Do you know? About around
a little under 300.
Oh, okay.
And then Florida State Prison, which is next door, is where the death chamber is. They take you over there a week before your execution.
What's the most secure prison in Florida?
I'd say UCI.
UCI?
Union.
Okay.
Yeah, where death row is.
Okay.
FSP. That's the triangle right there.
Yeah. What's the movement status in those places? Pretty much you're 22 and like 2 or
No,
something like
there's
that?
population.
I mean, regular movement?
Yeah, it's controlled movement, I think.
Yeah.
You know, I think UCI is. I don't know. I think UCI is the oldest prison in Florida. One of them. But it's secure. Well, here's an example. We were driving back. I took my son and one of his buddies up when that little snow came through Georgia last winter. We just hauled ass up there. And
you got the ski boots out?
Yeah, we tried. I'll tell you a funny story about that shit.
Couple frying pans and ski boots up.
Listen, my wife said before we left, it was like 9 o'clock at night. And she's like, be careful. And I was like, yeah, I'm always careful. I've never even seen snow, man.
Yeah.
I'm on I-10. My son's sleeping. His buddy's in the back. And I see this big old flashing sign up here, and it says, caution. 15 miles ahead, icy road.
Oh, man.
And I'm thinking, this is Florida, man. Come on. You know, we're not doing that.
It ain't that kind of ice.
What they should have said was, this shit is 3 foot high. Be careful. And it was raining a little bit. And the next thing you know, I hit that ice. And I was sideways on I-10.
Oh, my God.
My son woke up. And he's looking at trees, man. We're sliding down. And my son says, straighten her up, Dad. By the grace of whoever, I got the truck straightened up.
Yeah.
Petrified me.
That is crazy, man.
Scared the death out of me.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
But yeah.
Yo, if y'all ever want to hear some crazy stories, remember, I live very far up north, so we got crazy weather. I have been in some crazy accidents from ice and stuff like that. I got a lot of driving PTSD from that. Y'all remind me if y'all ever want some crazy ass stories about that.
On the way home from that, my son was like, can we go by?
Were y'all going? Oh, you want to see?
We went up to Georgia,
oh,
yeah. Okay. We went up to Georgia and we saw the snow and all that shit and drove back.
Yeah.
And it was kind of it was a little out of the way, but it was kind of on the way. So I drove by, you know, the triangle, the 3 prisons there. And I'm telling you, man, I drove by and literally just turned around like that. Within a second, I had a trail vehicle behind me.
Oh,
on my ass everywhere I went. Oh, yeah. Run me right out of there.
Yeah.
So
were you ever in any of those prisons?
I was at New River.
Really?
East Unit, yeah.
That's wild to think, huh?
Yeah. I was across the street. So I don't know anything really much about that Swanee. That Swanee was built after I got out.
Yeah.
But from what I'm told.
So that's where he's at now, from what you know?
Yeah.
Swanee. I've heard that from past stories.
They have a section there designated for death row inmates who have disciplinary issues on death row. So they send them for CM, you know.
Let me ask you this, man. Do you think inmates come into death row? Like trustees of any kind? 100%. Okay.
Oh yeah. Listen, these guys will flood the cells.
Some
the officers ain't coming in there cleaning that shit up.
Yeah. I forgot about all
that. Oh yeah, they'll wreck it.
Yeah.
They're not coming there doing shit.
Yeah.
That's not trading and shit. Yeah. So yeah, 100%.
Well, you know, people might be wondering how he could possibly get something contraband wise into death row. Look. Like I said, you know, inmates do a lot of leg work, and when there's inmates around, there's a window. You know,
listen, when I was on CM, I could buy whatever.
Yeah, clothes management for those y'all.
I could buy anything I wanted, and laundry would come twice a week, and it would come folded up in my laundry, handed to me by the officer.
Yeah. It's not a shocker to me that anything like this happens to Wade. You know. And like you said, you know, he was a drug addict on the street. So, you know,
I think his biggest problem is his prison stints previously were real short.
Yeah.
So he never really
got that full scope.
He never really became disciplined. Yeah. He never really got the respect. He never really learned how to move properly. Yeah. He never learned how to survive it.
Yeah.
You know? So I think that's his problem.
Yeah.
Is he just went into it with a big head.
Yeah.
And that's why I wanted to visit with him before his sentencing, because I wanted to remind him, you know, almost like a kid. First impressions, you know, go in there and mind your business. Don't bother nobody. You know.
How was it? Refresh people a little bit, man. How was that last visit with him?
Oh, not good.
Yeah.
He didn't want nothing to do with it.
Yeah.
I don't blame him. I mean, I can't be mad at him.
Yeah. I mean,
I get it.
Do you think he has a chance of possibly getting off of death row?
I don't know, man.
Because I mean, he does have a lot of support. He probably has a lot of people working in that field of, you know.
I mean, this is just my opinion.
Honestly,
I don't know shit about all that shit, but I know from an evidence standpoint, absolutely not.
All right, let me ask you this, man. Another question about death row, of course. I'm pretty sure that when the time comes, that who knows? It could be 30 years from now. You know, I'm just saying, if it does come, and they give you the call, hey, do you want to be here? Because they give
it would you know, the victims. I think they give the option.
They don't give the initial family members.
Man, I don't know.
I think they do, but if they did, would you go?
You know, listen. If I'm alive, then if he wanted me to be there, I would go.
What if he hasn't said?
Okay, I mean, I'm gonna give the fairness on both sides. That's the answer a parent should give. If he wants me there, I'll go. Fair enough.
Said nothing to you. Would you go? No.
I don't want to see that.
I think I might want to see my son one more time, man.
Man, I hope before then.
I'll probably turn my head before the craziness.
I can't. I couldn't do that. I get it. Listen, I get it. If somebody hurt me and my family bad enough,
these are some tough questions.
I want to see him suffer.
Yeah.
But I know where you're going, man. I've thought about it, man, so many times. It's like I love, like, when I don't say, you know, love you. You know, some people always just use that fucking word.
I hate that.
I don't use that word.
I hate that.
If I tell you I love you, that means.
I tell my kid I love him multiple times every fucking day. I don't care. Death and Steve, y'all are some losers for that one. Well, I don't like people. I get it. You don't just say that to random people, but to your kin, you should be saying that all the fucking time. Clearly, y'all two don't realize how quick people can just be gone. That's crazy from y'all.
It's everything.
I get it to random people, but to your kids, to your family, you should be saying that as much as fucking possible. Coming from somebody whose parents would never say it back to me when I said it, it means something. Fucking clown.
Yeah, that's how I am.
I don't play about that. You know, if I love you, I will do anything for you.
Yeah.
Except for express it.
So it's hard. It's hard for me because I love him as my son. And I know how I am as a person. I can forgive you and I can forget some things. I can't forgive and forget everything.
Yeah.
That's not who I am.
Yeah.
There are some things I cannot get past.
Yeah.
And there's some things I can't forgive.
All right, well, one more question for you, man, and then we'll wrap it up.
I don't know if y'all saw that, but they I don't know what the rest of what he said there was, but there was a cut just there if you watch. Look.
All right.
The way it cuts to death. Actually, it might have just been the camera switching. I don't know. It kind of looks like there's a cut there, and it cut him off, and he was saying more.
Well, one more question for you, man, and then we'll wrap it up and go relax or something, man. Chat off camera. But this one is kind of going to probably be a two-piece. First, I do, before we move forward, I do agree with this. But do you agree with the death penalty?
Man.
I don't. Deep question. I know.
I've been asked that.
Debatable.
And I can't answer it.
You can't answer.
I can't answer it because I can get it.
Would it be a case-by-case situation?
I think prior to this situation,
you were.
I never really thought enough about it. Like, okay, someone did some shit. to the point where, you know, they thought it was best to execute him. And I never thought about it. I never like had a stance on it. I just feel like, you know, there's some things that you can't come back from. You know, there's some things that prisons can't fix. I do think there are some crimes that you should be killed for. And I don't think it should be done the way we do it. You know, I think it should be done publicly.
Yeah.
You know,
They used to do that back in the day, you know?
You know, when they put you in the public in those things, what is it called? Like a stockade or whatever, and everyone threw tomatoes at you and shit. That was a pretty good punishment compared to what we have now. I feel like people do need to be humiliated a bit more, and you might not get the situations like this. I'm going to give y'all my opinion on the death penalty really quick. If you ask me how I feel about some people, there are people who I think deserve to be killed just because it's the easy thing to do and it's better for the society. But at the same time, the reason I can never say I'm pro the death penalty, like there's people who get the death penalty who I'm not going to advocate for. I don't care about all that stuff. But like, I just feel like it's God's choice to choose when someone's supposed to come off the planet. So I just don't think it's a choice that humans are supposed to be making. But exactly with all of his sentiment on this, I feel the exact same way. I just think certain choices like this are not meant for humans to make. That makes sense to y'all.
No, I'm not.
But like, I do believe in an eye for an eye. If you did something like this to my family, I'm not. Do I want you to get prosecuted and stuff? Yeah. Yeah. But I also want to get you myself. You know?
Trying to be mean
about
it.
They used to sell like vegetables and everything. Yeah. Throw stuff at them, you know, before they killed them.
But there's
William Wallace, ladies and gentlemen, they put him out on display big time.
Yeah.
You know?
I know, but see again, it's fun. There's been so many people who have done so much time, man, and then DNA comes and they didn't do it. So you know, there again, I question myself.
I agree. Yeah,
I really believe that because that's fucking.
I agree. For the death penalty, it needs to be there's no ifs, ands, or buts if the person did it. Because there's a lot of death penalty cases, like he said, that get reversed. You're just like, this should have been life and not a death penalty. At most.
To put somebody down that didn't do anything.
Yeah.
So I really don't know. And now with this situation, I just can't answer it, man. I try to read about as much as I can. I just know, you know, I can't speak about other people's cases and stuff, but I just know, I know the details of this case.
Yeah.
I know the facts. I know the DNA, you know, just this is not one I've just, you know, unfortunately, I had firsthand knowledge of this one.
Yeah.
So I know all that. So I don't question the guilt part of it. That's not easy to say. I hate to admit that he did that.
Yeah.
But it's a fact. So, you know.
Is there anything that about everything just that might have been weird or stand out to you more than anything else? You know, like a situation or just a feeling, anything.
I already knew like a side of the world, the shitty side, you know, because I've lived in that environment, but I really didn't realize how fucked people are, man. Like how shitty morally people are.
Yeah, you get.
No, I'm serious.
It's like a two different kind of fuck. Man, prison it's manipulative and fucked up. Out here it's like even grimier and more just aesthetically trashierly fucked.
Yeah, and I think it's the devices and the internet and this shit like this that, you know, anybody can be anybody they want to be. But the insanity to me, I respect everybody. You be who you want to be as long as you're not hurting people. Be who you want to be. But how can you? Man, it blows my mind. How can you be so blind to certain things?
Yeah.
And a lot of these people, man, are mothers of daughters. You know? What are you doing? Man, I don't know. It's sad to me. That's the biggest take, I think. Yeah. And the other thing is, Give a mother break sometimes. God. Think about it from somebody else's perspective.
A lot of people don't.
Cut me some slack.
Yeah, they take what they hear and they run.
God, and I react, man. I'm human.
Yeah.
You know, I try to protect, man, and be.
The thing with Steve and the things he said, I'd let the things he said go 100%. I agree with what he's saying, but I don't feel like he took, like, he didn't really take any accountability for calling the victims bitches and stuff like that, right? Like I said before, I let things slip out of my mouth, but if I do, and then I think I shouldn't have, I just take accountability for it. I'm like, yo, I shouldn't have said it like that. It's that easy. He didn't choose to handle it like that. So that's why we're running into issues here.
You know, people don't get the bullshit.
Yeah.
I'm not just making it up.
Yeah.
There's some people in this world, man,
man.
who've made some threats.
Yeah. You had threats and stuff?
100%.
Yeah.
My children.
Oh my God.
And the problem is, we can just talk about it if it's
Yeah.
that major, but all the sneaky shit,
Yeah.
come on, it's a lot, man.
Yeah.
I didn't ask for this shit, dude.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't ask for it. I tried to do the right thing. I'm trying to be a good person.
Yeah.
But sometimes it's like people want to just push you.
Yeah.
You know, and there's a limit, man. There's a limit.
Yeah.
There's a limit.
I hope and pray that limit does not come your way, my friend.
I do too.
I want you to stay free. I want everyone to stay free. That's the key to this channel.
Yeah.
I
try to be positive.
Yeah.
But just stop with the dumb shit, I think, is the biggest thing. You know,
I think,
it
like I
affects
said,
other people, man.
Yeah, I think, well, actually, I said only time, time might heal some of this stuff, but chances are, it's probably going to get blown up later on down the road again, and everything's going to get cranked back up. So, you got a crazy road in front of you.
Yeah, I'm sure it's, I was thankful things kind of had died down a little bit, but I think it's ramping back up.
Is there, I know probably no one's ever asked you this, and I said it was the last question, but I asked you this too. From what you know of Wade, is there anything positive that you could say about that guy?
Yeah, man, he's funny as fuck.
Is he?
Like sober Wade, good Wade, like on point Wade.
Okay. I don't agree, but okay.
Really?
Yeah. And that's the sad part too, man. There's just glimpses of good, dude.
Yeah, you can see like I've been with some maniacs.
Yeah.
I've been around some maniacs.
Mm-hmm.
But you get glimpses of their heart, man.
You see it.
You can see it. It's like, damn, why can't you be like that all the time?
Yeah.
That is true, though. I will give them that because, like, I've been around a lot of killers in general. But there's different types of killers. There's like the people who like they're in a situation or they're a gang member or whatever, and then there's like the cold-blooded like people like Wade. But with most of them, you do literally see glimpses of them being a good person. Like I have a friend, I'm not gonna say his name. He's never coming out of prison, right? He did some gruesome ass shit. But this was like the nicest guy to me, dude. This dude, when I messed up my eye, dude was like cooking for me. Mad shit like that. Like never around me was he like that at all. I mean, obviously I could see sometimes he was had a bit screws loose when we'd have beefs and stuff like that with other people, but so like people like that, I just want people to know that is 100% real. Even the most evil people in the right situation could be someone completely different. It's crazy.
Yeah, and that's exactly, that's exactly what it is. Here's an example.
It's got to be a mental issue, man.
Yeah. Can I send a little shout out to somebody?
Hey, yeah, I suppose
another channel.
Go ahead.
Yeah. Is that cool?
Yeah, anything you want, man.
Phone calls from prison.
Phone calls from prison.
100%.
Good guy?
Gangsters.
Good guy?
Good people.
Okay.
Yeah. Good people with morals and values, and that's why they do well, because they have that positive energy. They don't get caught up in the bullshit. They make good choices. They think about other people, and that's a blessing to have. And same thing, that's why I talk to you. I would never go on some channel with these people with the bullshit.
Yeah.
I would never.
I recall seeing you on at least a couple of them. At least a couple.
Yeah. Even I'm nobody, man. I'm just a simple old dude caught in some shit.
Yeah.
But I'm better than that.
And you know, I had like a awakening when you said something just now. But I've always preached for like doing YouTube content. Consistency is key. You know, it is key.
Yeah.
But not all good consistency. Like you said, man, the bull crap will be filtered out sooner or later. You know, you can only go so long with the bull crap and make it good, authentic, consistency,
stop stretching
content, and you will go very far. Don't feed into the bull crap. You know, that's a good piece you said, and really adds on to my consistency thing. You know, but I appreciate you coming out here, man. And well, I came down here. You came not too far from here. It was a pleasure to meet you, man. I was really looking forward to it, and I know I'm trying not to ask too many wild, questions that would turn into a debatable topic.
No, there's no debate. I'm political.
I like to just hear more of the personal side of things, man. If he were to reach out to you for support in any way, would you be there for him?
100%.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
My question to y'all in the comment section: if your son, daughter did something like this, would you support them if they needed support after the fact? Like I just asked him, would y'all do that? The same thing. It's gonna be a tough question for him.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, my thing is this.
I think I would always preach to my son, man.
100%. My goal is with all my kids, man, is to just be better than I ever was. Be a good person. You don't have to be perfect, man. Just be a good, honest person.
Okay, so that's the end of the interview. My final thoughts on it are I don't really see a purpose of this interview even coming out. Like, we didn't really learn anything. And to even call this was a conversation. This wasn't really an interview. This was more of a conversation. Yeah, it just seems kind of pointless to me. It just seems like the type of thing that's going to turn some people against Steve, cause unneeded drama. Like, it didn't really add anything to the situation. It didn't help anybody. Didn't even really give any new information on the situation. It gave you a bit of insight into Steve, but it's just weird to be coming out this long after and doing an interview. And like, I feel like with death, like, this is a conversation versus an interview. And I know this is the style that he does most of his stuff in, but for a topic like this, I just don't find that, like, to be a good interviewer and to call this an interview, you would have had to have come at this in a different way and had some counter and some pushback and dug deeper into topics. This was really just more of like a very, very, very surface level conversation. Like, nothing was dug deep into, nothing was pushed back on. And I get it. Like, the type of interviews he does, it's generally to learn about the person. And in pretty much every case, the prison stuff, it makes sense. In this case, it doesn't make sense to me. It just seems like beating a dead horse here. But anyways, I could be wrong, and I don't want people to be too hard on Steve. Like, I'll give my opinions, but like, the dude's in a crazy hard position. So I don't think most people would have like the perfect responses and stuff. So I do want to give the credit there. I just don't think he should be coming on. I think it's just going to open himself up to stuff like this and cause more drama. And, like I said, my answer to that is, would I support my kid? I would be doing everything all the time to try and get my kid to do the right thing. But let's say my kid didn't have money and he was acting how Wade is acting. Would I be filling his commissary? Would I be doing those things? No, definitely not. But if my son wants to pick up and call me, I'll always, like they said, preach to my kid 100%. I think that's the right thing to do. I do think Steve is probably the best influence in Wade's life. All these Wade wives he's talking to are a lot worse influences than his dad. So I think Steve is probably one of the better people he could actually talk to. I do have a lot of issues with Steve. I do have a lot of issues of how he portrayed things and he did stuff. I do also want to give him credit that he's not like a media guy. And when you're not used to media and watching this type of stuff, it's really easy to come in and say things wrong. You have to really mind your words when you're doing stuff like this. So this in reality are a bit different, but I just keep going back to it. It just seemed like a pointless interview. Like it didn't really seem to bring up anything that we needed or didn't know or anything like that. I understand why it was done. I think we might have been just better off if we didn't have this. And like, I don't want to blame death for it because I understand going into something like this, you don't know what you're going to get. And you don't want to be disrespectful by not releasing it. But at the same time, like, they should have gone into something, learned. So, like, I'm not going to repeat myself. Y'all kind of have my opinion on that. Anyways, I want to hear your opinions down in the comment section. Did you like this? What did you feel about it? How do you feel about the Wade Wilson situation? How do you feel about Steve? Have you turned on Steve? Are you still supporting Steve? Are you somewhere in the middle? I mean, I'm somewhere in the middle. I don't hate the guy, but I definitely have some big criticisms of the guy. But at the same time, like, I have criticisms of most people, and you know, sometimes that's just life. Sometimes you got to agree to disagree with people. Sometimes you got to be more into it. I don't know. But anyways, you guys have heard my thoughts. I want your thoughts down in the comment section. I hope all of y'all enjoyed the content. It's one of the longer videos I've done in a while. I got a lot of dope content coming, more Wade Wilson stuff, more Jessica Kent stuff, probably more 1090 Jake stuff. And if there's any other internet characters that you want me to talk about, feel free to put them down in the comment section. I'm always looking to learn about new lolcows to expose. So yeah, we got some interesting stuff with Jessica and Burner coming. Burner got his YouTube back. Lucky guy. I know he was probably pressed for a few days to get about losing that. But yeah. Anyways, I hope all of y'all stay blessed, stay great, and judge people on their character, but don't judge people too much for coming on the internet and maybe not knowing how to talk the best. I'm not going to judge them too much. I do have my criticisms, though, but stay blessed, stay great.